Along with mangroves, coral reefs make up a lot of the landscape most of our fish interact with. We have different types of hard corals and soft corals and invertebrates that interact with the coral reef ecosystem. And in that ecosystem, we can account for over 95% of all marine life. Coral reefs are really the first barrier of defense for our marine estuaries, as we have large storm events and things that can affect our ecosystem. And coral reefs are mangroves neighbors. When we think about mangroves and coral reefs working together, we're having times where water columns are heating at a much higher rate, or we're seeing these temperature spikes as our world adapts, as coral reefs adapt, as things are changing around us. Nature's going to figure out its way and how it's going to make its adaptations to keep up. And mangroves are just one more critical part of the puzzle of how we preserve nature and how nature is able to preserve itself, right? So when we think about preserving ecosystems, we're not just doing it for us. That's not it. We're actually doing it for the nature that's going to be utilizing that ecosystem. So the more footprint that we can maintain, the better off our coral reefs are going to be, the better off our mangroves are going to be, and the better off that wildlife is going to continue to be more robust in these different areas. So if we can maintain our habitat, we're going to be able to maintain our fisheries.
Tell me what you're feeding. Oh, I got a little yellowtail.
Last weekend, I got an epic opportunity to do some fishing with some friends and the guys from Delph Fishing. One of the ways that we can target fish is we go out and we do deep drops. Deep drops are a unique way of fishing because we're presenting baits at 250 feet, which means we got to set the boat up at the right angle, doing the right drift to go right over the reef. So get ahead of the reef, let the current and wind push you right on top, drop down 250 feet, let your line scope out, and keep it right in the bottom so that a fish can pick it up.
We're putting on a big one.
We good to drop? Yes.
There she goes. I've got a trophy bait on. You're a son, Mr. Max. Going. Oh, what do we got there? Got him on. Got him on. James? Oh, James doesn't have a hook either.
Yeah, I need a hook.
Oh, tight line.
Oh, that got hit on the way down.
Look at you.
There we go.
Might be one of those little bodies.
You got a fish?
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, you might need to reel up.
Kevin, go.
Or go under him.
Go.
Oh, over, yep. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, dude.
Let's get her. Oh, it looks like a... Oh, it's a weedo. What do we got there, Cap?
Oh, shit.
Logging you, huh?
King?
Yeah, kingfish. Hey!
Cuda.
Cuda. Got a Cuda king here.
Hey, hold that line.
Yeah, buddy.
There's a reason why they call it fishing, not catching. So it's a bit of a slow start. We started dropping down, we had some lines out, and things weren't really connecting at first. Maybe the fish weren't waking up yet, maybe the tide wasn't right. So we made a switch from one spot to another, then the bite started to turn on. So we knew there was a couple fish species that we were gonna run into. We had red snapper, mutton snapper, scamp groupers, We were hoping for a black grouper and other types of reef species that live at 250 feet.
Got one.
I got one.
Pull it in, buddy. Double up.
Since we don't do a lot of offshore fishing at MANG, this was a fun opportunity, and I got to catch my first scamp grouper. The beauty of this fish was awesome. It was great to pull up something that was new to me, and later at the dinner table, it tasted pretty good too. Some of these fish we were hooking were huge. You could feel the bite, come get tight, try to pull them out of the rocks, and oftentimes we were breaking them off. You know, I had a few fish, which I know were good fish, and you know, it's heartbreaking to lose them, but you re-rig, drop back down, and get another. After we started hooking up, we were noticing that there was more and more breakoffs. And a lot of those breakoffs turned into big, heavy line pullers. And those line pullers just so happen to be sharks. So my good buddy Sean hooks up to a good fish. All of a sudden, he comes tight to something a little bigger. And we were committed. So he decided to bring that fish up. He worked it hard. It was a big shark, big sandbar shark. And we got a boat sign right next to the boat, popped him off and let him go. Since we were deep dropping for reef fish, we weren't really anticipating catching a blackfin tuna. So that was really the icing of the cake on top of the mutton snapper that our buddy Kevin caught. And that really all tied the end of the trip together. Right then was like the closing minutes of the trip. Captain was getting ready to go. We hook up, doubled up, threw him in the boat, and ran home.
Gentlemen, nice job.
You know, as we get more busy in life, it's those special moments in life that you get to spend with friends. And this Delph fishing charter was an opportunity for us all to connect, for us all to get on the boat, to get to know some of the guys that I didn't know as well, and you know, connect on a level about the fishery. And for me, I think the most joy I get out of fishing is really being able to see other people light up and enjoy the fishery as much as I do, because it's why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's why Keith and I are protecting mangrove ecosystems. It's why we do what we do, so that the future of our fisheries maintains itself. And being able to connect with captains that are on the water that see it day in and day out. They see the change, they see things happening, and we're able to be pragmatic in our approach at MANG and how we can incorporate fisheries management in a way that is understandable, but also relatable to everyone that's out there fishing. And I'm sure you've heard it before, but mangroves support over 70% of all marine life. And fish that grow up in our mangroves move right to our offshore reefs. More mangroves equals more fish. More corals equals more fish. And if we just can preserve a little bit of that and maintain that for our future fisheries, we win all across the board. Thanks for watching another episode of MANG TV. And don't forget, hit subscribe, like, and turn on those notifications to keep up with our content.